All right. So this afternoon, I don't know if you can see on your Forest Factory site is not loading. So I'll be trying to see if there's a way around it. Okay, I think it's back now. All right. So let's go to Forest Factory. Okay, so this is Forest Factory. Today is 18th of November. 12:40 p.m. Okay, but what I'm seeing, it looks like we don't have any fundamental events this afternoon. So let's just head straight to the charts, to the technicals. Good afternoon, Madam Ananji. Good afternoon, Kenansi here. Thanks for the compliment. There was some setup I gave yesterday for the beginning of the week, but somehow the market just didn't move as expected. Yesterday was quite, the market was in a range. So the market didn't go as expected yesterday, but now, a majority of those analysis of yesterday, it's working out just exactly as analyzed. So I'll mention some of them in the analysis this afternoon. So I'll start with the USD which I analyzed as a bullish setup yesterday morning to start the week. And currently, it's going in that direction. If you joined the morning analysis yesterday, I said we can see a falling wedge on the USD that's after price hit a support zone on the daily time frame. That rectangle box there is a support, and there's a trend line where price is moving in the bullish direction, and also coupled with a rejection candle, all on the daily time frame. So we have the rejection candle here, and we can see price is going bullish as expected. Now that's on the daily. If we flip it down to the lower time frame, 1 hour, I said we can see we have a falling wedge, and I can see the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern. I said if price breaks above this minor resistance, we'll see an upward movement. And that has happened. You can see a slight bullish movement, a retracement, but then a continuation. So USD is going according to plan. If you're not already in, you may still enter. Today's Tuesday. You can still see the possibility of a further movement. And I remember telling us to look at possibly Fibonacci 50. All right, currently price already hit Fibonacci 38.2. I remember I gave two target levels, 38.2 and 50. 38.2 was around 17 pips or so yesterday, if I still recollect. Yeah, around 15, 17 pips, and Fibonacci 50 is around 44 pips. So if you did not enter earlier, I would advise to hold on, let a new candle break above Fibonacci 38.2. Then you can ride that to 50. But if you entered earlier, you should be in profit by now, and I should be getting ready to exit at least that particular profit level. Because Fibonacci 38.2 is a resistance. Until that level is broken, a reversal may happen or a retracement. So if you have not entered, just wait for a new candle to open above Fibonacci 38.2. But so far, so good. The analysis played out just as we analyzed it. So I'm still very bullish on the USD And for gold yesterday, also, my analysis was a retracement down to this support zone before a breakout. And that is already happening. Though I will advise to still exercise a little caution. And that's because MACD is really, really still below zero. It's a bullish trend on gold, but the coast is not yet clear. RSI is not yet up to 50. MACD is still below zero. So there's a possibility, though we have a falling wedge now, we may still expect some retracement before the breakout happens. So gold is working according to plan, but not yet clear. I mean, not yet time to make an entry. Still exercise a little caution with gold. But aside that, the overall trend is still bullish also on gold. Next, I'll look at, okay, this one I didn't mention it yesterday, but then it's a lot clearer now, and that is the GBP USD. This is a new setup. I'm bearish on the GBP USD. And these are my reasons for that. I'll start from the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we can see that price is trending lower on the GBP USD. We can see price making a series of lower high, and the lower high. And there's now a confluence between the previous support, which is now turning resistance. So this region here is a confluence zone from where we expect price to drop further. So if you take it down to a lower time frame like 4 hour, this is what we have. You can see we have a rising wedge pattern, and this is that confluence area. So if price breaks out below the lower trend line, which is happening already, but then we need a new candle to open clearly below that level, with RSI below 50. RSI is at 46, though I would really prefer if it goes lower than that. And possibly if MACD can cross below 0 on this one, that will be a higher level of probability. So we just watch this in the next couple of hours. The next 4-hour candle will open around 2 or 3 p.m. now. And if that happens, and RSI clearly crosses below 0, and possibly MACD can cross below 0 at that point, RSI crossed below 50 rather, and MACD below 0. If that can be achieved, we may look at taking a sell on GBP USD. Now, the profit potential of this particular setup can be between if you're looking at this Fibonacci level as 38.2, anything below that region should be our entry. Fibonacci 50 can give as much as like 20 pips. Fibonacci 1.8 around 45 pips. And Fibonacci 78.6 can give as much as about 80 pips. So between 20 to 80 pips movement is possible on this instrument this week. I use the word this week because this is a swing setup, so you can span beyond today, tomorrow, even the Thursday. But we are bearish on the GBP USD. All right, the next analysis is equally a fresh one, still on the GBP also. That's GBP AUD, and I'm bearish on the GBP AUD likewise. And these are my reasons. We have a previous support turn resistance, and the candle for today is still, the day is yet to be over, but I'm seeing the daily candle for today already forming a rejection candle, a bearish rejection candle. So with a support on resistance, we're looking for a downward movement on GBP AUD. And this is the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we have a rising wedge pattern. RSI is gradually really below 50, but then I still anticipate a slight retracement before we have the continuation. Or we may see an outright one, anyone can happen, but I would really favor first a retracement, probably retest of this resistance before the breakout. But either way it happens, we are bearish on the GBP AUD on 1 hour, meaning this is still possible before the end of today. We are bearish on the GBP AUD. And the profit potential on this can give as much as about 40 pips there, about Fibonacci 50, about 80 pips of Fibonacci 1.8, and about 150 pips there, about Fibonacci 78.6. So we're bearish on the GBP AUD on 1 hour. Now, BTC USD was another instrument I analyzed yesterday, and I'll give my updates and my projection for the BTC. So if you joined the analysis yesterday also, I said that I was expecting BTC to drop to this trend line, then break out from there. If you can go and watch the video, that was my view. It has dropped exactly as analyzed and is trying to find its way upward. Now, what I'm anticipating that will happen here is potentially an inverse head and shoulder and a breakout to the upside. If this happens just as analyzed, or if it just outrightly breaks out to the upside and breaks above this trend line with RSI clearly above 50, you can take a buy on BTC USD. So we remain bullish on the BTC USD. I analyzed the GBP CHL yesterday too, on which I was bullish. And this is the current setup on the BTC USD. Is we still have the bullish outlook. This is the BTC, GBP CHF, pardon me, the GBP CHF. As of yesterday morning when I analyzed this, I remember telling us I was expecting an inverse head and shoulder and a breakout. Even though at that time price was just somewhere, I think somewhere around here, thereabout, but it has worked as planned. So what we're waiting for now is a clear breakout above the neckline, and that can still happen today. If price breaks out above the neckline, we'll see an upsurge movement in price to the upside direction. So we still remain bullish on the GBP CHF. Now, Euro AUD was one of the instruments I analyzed yesterday where I expected a downward movement yesterday, but it didn't happen yesterday, but it looks like it's happening now. And that was from a previous rejection candle. That's this one from where I anticipated a downward movement. But like I said, that didn't happen yesterday, but it's looking like we're getting set for it because currently today's daily candle is a rejection candle on that same resistance zone. So technically, we may be expecting a downward movement, especially if this candle ends up a rejection candle by the end of today. That may also be an added confirmation. So taking it down to a 1 hour time frame, we have a rising wedge pattern also. Now, price has broken out below the lower trend line of the rising wedge. But then I perceive there is likelihood of a retest before we have a further continuation. But either way it goes, just watch this instrument closely. We may expect a bearish movement anytime soon, whether there's a retest or no retest. I would say for a final confirmation on this one, you may wait for MACD to cross below zero. So whether there's a retest or not, if MACD is able to cross below zero, that can give you the final confirmation to take a sell on the Euro AUD. It may span till tomorrow because of the rejection candle on the daily time frame, but we are very much bearish on the Euro AUD. And the profit potential of this can be in the range of between, this is about 30, let's just say roughly 30 pips of Fibonacci 50, about 70 pips of Fibonacci 61.8, and about 120 pips of Fibonacci 78.6. Between 30 and 120 pips movement is possible on the Euro AUD. So we're bearish on the Euro AUD. And finally, the Euro GBP. This was also one of my analysis for yesterday, where I cited a head and shoulder pattern. And it's working according to plan. Though initially it broke the neckline, but then you can see there's a retest, and we may be expecting a continuation. But then if you're going to be trading the pound and any of the Euro pairs, I will advise you stay out of the Euro GBP, because it will cause some conflict. So I would just say maybe it's just ignore the Euro GBP for now and focus on the GBP pairs and the Euro AUD that I've given earlier. All right. So that will be all from my analysis this afternoon. I'll do a little recap for those who might be joining us a bit late. I said I'm bullish on the USD CHF. I'm bullish on gold. Though gold may experience a retracement before the bull takes over. I'm bearish on the GBP USD on 4 hour. That's USD CHF and gold at 1 hour. I'm bearish on the GBP USD on 4 hour. I'm bearish on the GBP AUD on 1 hour. I'm bullish on BTC USD on 1 hour. I'm bullish on GBP CHF on 1 hour. And bearish on Euro AUD on 1 hour. And like I said, I think we should just ignore Euro GBP for now. All right, that'll be all from analysis. If you have any question, okay, somebody already posted now. GBP JPY. All right, let's quickly check that. Now, GBP is trading around the resistance level on the daily time frame. All right, so price may just retest the resistance before it breaks out downward. So I'll hold on to a bearish projection on GBP in the bigger picture, pending the time price breaks out, below the lower trend line. Of course, like I said, it may hit the resistance or it may not. But if you can see a breakout below the lower trend line, you'll be able to take a sell on the GBP. Don't forget there's a rising wedge to give confirmation to that. So we're bearish on the GBP JPY. CHF JPY. Wow. Okay. Now, this CHF JPY is trading at a resistance level on the daily time frame. It's actually a psychological level. Yeah, there's no resistance in view. It's trading around the psychological level. Now, the psychological level is actually now acting as the resistance. Now, at that psychological level, we can see that a couple of days ago, the day closed with, that should be on Friday, closed with a rejection candle, more like a shooting star. But, we didn't have a bearish confirmation candle. So let's just call it a rejection candle on the resistance, which is the, psychological level. So technically, we're looking for a downward movement on the CHF JPY. And you can see price has been hanging around that psychological level even between yesterday and today. If you take it down to the 4-hour time frame, it's really looking like it's trying to form a head and shoulder pattern, right? A shoulder, a second shoulder. You can see the last 4-hour candle is a bearish candle. Now, if a new candle clearly breaks out below this neckline region, you can see the neckline is a slanting line. It's not a horizontal one this time. If a new 4-hour candle can break out below this neckline region, then we're going to see a massive bearish movement on the CHF JPY. So it depends on your trading style. If you want to look at it on 4-hour, it's good. And I believe the same will still work for 1 hour. So either you are a swing trader or an intraday trader, just do the time frame that is convenient for you. So those who trade on 1 hour intraday will be able to enter the trade faster. So if your 1-hour candle opens below here, you can trigger a sell. RSI is very close to 50 and might go below it. So we are bearish on the CHF JPY. All right, I think I responded to all the questions. Don't forget to join us on Thursday by 2:15 p.m. for NFP.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I posted NAS. Thank you, sir. I posted NAS 100, sir.
Okay, NAS 100. Apologies, I'm just saying it. Now, those indices did not go as planned at all. They did not go as planned. They didn't. The market didn't go as planned. It went the other way completely.
Okay.
It might
so
reverse.
There's nothing in it again?
No, I don't want to say anything about it for now. Let's just watch and wait and see if there'll be clarity later. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So as I
Thank
was
you
saying,
very much. I'm grateful.
you're welcome, ma. As I was saying earlier, we're going to be having NFP on Thursday by 2:15 p.m. Please plan to attend, fund your account, and get ready to trade with us live on Thursday by 2:15 p.m. All right, we'll end the analysis session here. Trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. You're welcome, Mr. Tony. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye. Have a